If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, September 27, 2012. I'm your host, Tiffany Elias. Today in the Phoenix Monitor is one of the newest additions to the University of Texas coaching staff. She has been instrumental in the success of the Georgia Bulldogs, but is now making her way out to UT as the new women's head coach. Joining us from Austin is Carol Capitani. Carol, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, well, first off, congratulations on your new position. That is very exciting.
Thank you very much.
So how is the Longhorn season getting kicked off?
It's going really well. We were out of our pool for a little bit, swimming outside, which was kind of a nice little start. And we just got in our pool this week, and they're already in pretty good shape, I think, and we're having fun. Now, it's a new start.
Why were you out of your pool?
They were just fixing it, doing some minor repairs to the pool.
Oh, okay. All right, so before we talk about where you're taking the UT program, let's rewind to where you're coming from, which is the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, you collectively have been there for 14 or so years. Is that correct? And you've been a part of NCAA titles, multiple second-place finishes. So with Georgia doing so well right now, what has prompted the transition over to Texas?
It was really hard to leave. I mean, Georgia was a big part of my development, and I worked with some fantastic people and great athletes, and I felt that there were very few places that I wanted to go in the whole country. So when Texas opened up, it was a great opportunity, and they have an unbelievable tradition and some fantastic people here as well. And I thought, well, if I didn't jump at it, then you never know what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, well, it was a great opportunity.
Yeah.
All right, so Georgia doing so well, sending two ladies over to London, Allison being one of those who had a phenomenal performance across the board. What were your thoughts on London 2012?
Oh, it was a fantastic Olympics, and I was so proud of her, so proud of the whole women's team, and of course, my heart went out to Allison and Shannon, the people that I know really well on that team. And, I was just really, really happy for her. I mean, she works incredibly hard, and she has just a great spirit about her. And I'm just glad she put it all together at the right time.
Now, we know that Allison changed up her training over the past year, but prior to that being with Georgia, can you just give us any insight into what her training is like, her mentality, from a first-hand perspective on the pool deck with her?
Allison works hard, but she also has a lot of fun. I mean, if anybody knows Allison, her spirit is, she's fun-loving and she loves laughing, and I think she knows when to turn it on and race, and she has incredible focus. So, she's a real big team player, and I think that's why she didn't want to leave, but she trained with Bob for a year, and it was the best thing, and now she's coming back to be a part of a team. So I think, she made the right decision.
Now, you swam for Cal in college, is that correct?
Correct.
So there must be some sort of conflict of interest here, as Georgia and Cal have been neck and neck there at the top. So explain that right there.
Well, when I swam at Cal a billion years ago, we were fourth most of the years I swam, and so it was. And then when I went to Georgia, it was kind of nice climbing to the top, and I didn't take it for granted ever. And it's a little bittersweet. I mean, I was at Georgia a long time, so I mean, I like beating Cal. But part of me, if Georgia won, I didn't mind Cal being second. But I'm always going to have pride that I went to Cal and feel part of that history. So.
Okay, so now that you're disconnected from Georgia, going into assuming obviously you're going to be rooting for Texas, number one. But
Correct.
if it comes down again to Georgia and Cal,
No,
who are you rooting for?
Tiffany.
I have to ask these tough questions. It's my job.
That's a really tough question. I have so much respect for Terry, and I think she's done a fantastic. I think she did an unbelievable job with the women's team in London, and you know, I really have a ton of respect. I've learned a lot from Terry, and she's a great supporter. I mean, she's reached out and said, "Is there any way I can help you?" And that means a lot to me. But I have more relationships with people at Georgia. Mm-hmm. I just left that team, and I know 90% of them. So I mean, in that regard, I think swimming is about relationships. So again, I'd probably put Georgia a little bit ahead of Cal, as much as that kills me to say it, but yeah, it doesn't really kill me. It's just,
that's a tough question, but regardless, both teams are doing some phenomenal things for the sport. So
we're just going to creep up and sneak in the mix. So
right.
That's the goal.
Okay, so the goal is to get Texas up there in the running. What are your plans for the UT program? Just a general overview, where do you really want to see this team moving?
Up. No, seriously. There is a lot of pressure at Texas to be good, and I knew that coming in, and Texas wants to be winners, and they have a great history of being very successful, and I think they've won 7 national championships on the women's side, and they have 9 on the men's side, and we'd like to get that, catch up to the men at some point and move forward as a great team. And I like the challenge. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but with some key people, with recruiting the right kind of athlete, I think that's going to help. Not that it wasn't done before, but just making it attractive. So, the best swimmers, but just some great people will come and want to be a part of what we're trying to do here.
Now, looking at your lineup, who are some of your top athletes going into this next season, would you say? Who can we expect to be a face at the NCAAs?
Well, we have a great senior class, and I would say, like, right now, standing out, Laura Sogar. She just made the short course world championship team, and she's come around and gotten her best times in the breaststroke, won U.S. Open in the 200 breast in August. So that helps us, and she's always been really strong for us. And we have a strong group of seniors in the sprint events. We pretty much have people all over the map, and I would say we have a real good transfer. The backstroker, Sarah Dunninghoff, who's been finalist at NC2As in both backs. So we have some key people that are going to do a lot for us this year. But we're getting together as a team and feeling stronger and just building relationships and kind of starting from scratch a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. Now, you're coming from working alongside Jack Bowerly and transitioning over to another legendary name in the sport, Eddie Reese. So how has that transition been? What, so far, with your short period of time with Texas, what's it been like working alongside Eddie?
Eddie's fantastic. Eddie and Jack are really good friends, and they're alike in a lot of ways, but they're different. And Eddie gives me his opinions. He's not afraid to, tell me what he thinks, but it's a real collaborative, process, I think, and he's fun to have around. He's very supportive, and that's been a great welcome here already. So, sorry.
Great. Well, we are looking forward to seeing how the Longhorns do this season. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you, Tiffany.
All right. Thanks, Carol.
Thanks.
That is Carol Capitani in the Finis Monitor. That will wrap up today's morning swim show. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with all the latest news. I'm your host, Tiffany Elias. Thanks for watching.